All right, you can tell we're talking about a dress watch this week because I've got a tie on. This week we're going to be taking a look at a watch from MVMT, so kind of love them or hate them. We're looking at the MVMT 40 series this week, so check it out. All right, today we're going to be taking a look at a watch from MVMT, and this is the MVMT 40 series, rose gold on natural leather. And this watch for me is kind of has a special place in my collection because it's really the watch that sort of got me into watch collecting in a way. I sort of went through a period, like probably a lot of you guys did, where I was using my cell phone for a watch, and I kind of took one step away from that by investing in a smartwatch. And so I got a Pebble smartwatch, and I was wearing that, and found out that it actually was pretty convenient to have the time on my wrist and to be able to just check it at a glance. But the problem with the Pebble was that as much as I loved it for being a smartwatch, it could never be like a dressy watch. So even if I was trying to find like more dressy watch faces I could download and stuff, it just wouldn't work. So whenever I had to go to church or had to go to like a school function where I needed to get dressed up or something like that, it just wouldn't work. I'd have to leave it at home. So I started looking for a watch that I could wear on more dressy occasions. And that's when I came across MVMT and their 40 series in particular. And it seemed like, it was a pretty simple watch, a pretty versatile watch. And I did. I liked the way it looked. I kind of, their marketing was very good, very effective. And I think that's one thing that, say what you want about MVMT, but they do a great job at marketing to people who maybe they're not watch hobbyists, but it gets them into watches and more interest in that. And that's what happened to me. And so it was kind of from getting this watch that I really started getting more interested in other watches. And yeah, maybe knowing what I know now, if I would have gone back and maybe I would have taken that money and bought a different watch. But I can't say that I haven't had any real complaints about this watch. I mean, it's been a really, really versatile watch. I can wear it with a wide range of styles from casual to more dressed up. And in fact, I just posted a video this past week, and it's up on the channel. I encourage you guys to check it out if you're interested, where I did that, where I showed the watch off on a couple of different outfits, so you can kind of see how versatile it is. So yeah, be sure to check that out if you are interested. But we're going to go ahead and give this watch a review and run through it. I've had this one for about a year and a half now. It's still ticking. It's still in fairly good condition. So yeah, it's been a really good, decent watch for me, and I've really enjoyed it. And yeah, well, let's take a look, and we'll try and figure out if this is something that really is worth the cost, or or maybe some people think that there's other better things you can get. But definitely at the end of the video, feel free to comment. Let me know what you think of MVMT. And so this watch, I believe it retails for $120 on their website. They sell it direct. If you don't think it's worth the cost, post down in the comments, if you know of a watch that you think is $120 or less, that can kind of be comparable to this or better than this. Post what you think it is and let me know. And I'd love to see kind of what other watches are out there in this price range that you guys have come across. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the watch a little bit more closely and give it a review. All right, so we'll start with the dimensions as usual. So this is called the MVMT 40 series, which refers to the diameter of the watch case, which is a 40 millimeter diameter case. 7 millimeters thick, which is very thin, so it slides very nicely under the cuff, which is a good feature for a dress watch. 30 meter water resistance, so good for splashes, light rain, washing your hands, that sort of thing. $120 price tag, and you're not going to find it for too much cheaper. They sell them direct from the MVMT website, and a lot of people will say that this is too high for this kind of watch. I'll let you be the judge of that as we go on with this review. The band, it's a 20 millimeter genuine leather band. You can see that I've had this one for about a year and a half and is starting to wear out, but it looks nice even still once it's on the wrist, and we'll see that later. So here's the watch. You can take a look at it.
I tend to think that this watch is much nicer than, you know, like a $30 cheap Chinese watch that you might buy on Gearbest or Alibaba Express, which a lot of people will complain about. If you look at it, there's a lot of really cool little details. The indices are raised. There are metal indices on there, so it gives a little bit of a depth to the dial, which would otherwise be just a completely flat dial. It has that red second hand, which is a nice little touch to it. The hands themselves are a nice shape, and they kind of catch the light differently. And you'll notice that the top of the bezel is a very polished stainless steel, and the side is brushed, so you can see here. So there's a contrasting tone there. And so all of that kind of elevates it, I think, above what you would normally get. You know, normally you're going to get like just a brass case that has a chrome finish on it or a gold finish on it that can flake off. This is a gold plating that will also wear off, but that's, you know, basically unless you're going with a solid gold watch, you're going to have that problem. So I don't see that as too much of a problem. This one is a solid stainless steel case, which again, that's something that you won't find on a lot of cheaper watches. A lot of times they're going to be brass and they'll be plated, and the plating will be more likely to come off. They also included, as you can see here, a quick release strap. So a lot of little details that, again, I think you know, they're trying to give you something more than you would get in a cheap watch. And you know, this is a watch that I think I've worn it for about a year and a half, and I haven't had any issues. I think the quality was pretty good on it. I think it's a very solid watch. I think they included a lot of nice little extras. You can see they have a signed clasp, also a signed crown. The band isn't great, but it's been a pretty workable band, and I think it's aged pretty well. I think the band even has, you know, it's getting a little bit of a patina on it, with the exception of, as you can see on the other side, the holes on the band where I strap it in have shown a lot of wear, and then now at the tip on there is starting to wear off a bit too. But yeah, overall, a lot of, I think, good little features in this. I really like the color scheme. This rose gold with the brown kind of natural tan strap. Again, the little pop of red on the dial there. This is a very versatile watch. It's a great dress watch. I think it'll work great with anything other than like a straight black suit. I think, you know, you wear it with a gray suit or a navy suit and blazer, it looks really good with, or just, you know, a little bit dressier clothes. But again, it's a very versatile watch too. And if you've seen the other video I posted of this, trying it out on different outfits, you can tell that, you know, you can really wear this watch with almost anything, and it will, you know, it'll class up a more casual outfit, or to go just well with a more dressy, more dressy outfit. So if you're the kind of guy who has to wear suits to work or has to dress up for work, I would say this would be a great watch for you. But even if you just want something that is a nice kind of minimal looking watch, it fits that bill too. And again, this is the watch that I've kind of received some of the most compliments on. It's something that people tend to notice because they have sort of a good appreciation of the MVMT brand, which is, again, it's polarizing. There's a lot of watch enthusiasts that don't appreciate MVMT, but for non-watch enthusiasts, it's, you know, people have a pretty high view of the brand, and they tend to like it and recognize it. So it kind of depends on kind of who you want to impress in that case. I'll go ahead and put on the wrist, and you can see I have a 7.5-inch wrist here. So for me, I think this is like the perfect size for a dress watch. Dress watches are supposed to be a little bit on the smaller side. They're supposed to be subdued. They're not supposed to be like really big, attention-getting watches. So like a 7 millimeters thick is perfect. It allows it to slide easily under the cuff of a dress shirt, easily under the cuff of your shirt and jacket. So it kind of disappears, but maybe it might poke out and just show that you're wearing one, but it's still easy to really slide it out there and take a look at the time. So this, as far as, you know, using it as a dress watch, it kind of really fits the bill perfectly for that. Yeah, and you can see, I think for me, 40 millimeters works really well on my size wrist. And yeah, it's one that I've worn as a dress watch for the last year and a half, and really enjoyed it. But again, it's a very versatile watch as well. You can wear it with a wide variety of outfits, and yeah, I think, you know, really depending on your style, you can make this work in a lot of places. Let's go ahead and take one more close-up look at the dial, and just, you know, so now, is this watch worth $120? Personally, I probably would not buy this one again. If I had $120 to spend, I would look at other ones. You could probably get like an Orient Bambino for pretty close to that price. That'll get a lot of similar things, but you'll get a cool automatic movement, and yeah. So that aside, though, I think that this watch is a very nice watch. I think it has a lot of nice little details. It is, I think, much nicer than the typical thing that you would find from the cheap Chinese companies. But with that, let's take it back and finish up.
All right, that has been my review of the MVMT 40 series rose gold on natural leather. Thank you guys for watching. And again, drop a comment down below. Let me know if you think that there's a watch in this price range, so about $120 at the time of this review. If you know of a watch in that price range that you think is a better watch or a comparable watch, or something that you think would be a better use of the money, drop a comment below and let me know what you think and what that watch would be. Also, if you get the chance, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're going to have more of these kind of videos coming out. And if you guys haven't figured out the format, what I'm going for here, so this is one of the episodes. I try and do about one episode a week, and the episodes are dealing more with like budget watch collecting. That's really what this channel is about. It's about me trying to build the ultimate watch collection, one cheap watch at a time. And I know cheap's probably the wrong word to use, but it kind of gets the point across quickly. But yeah, we're looking at sort of affordable watches that provide a really good value, and yet trying to build a well-rounded collection around that. And so every week I try and do a video about that. So it'll either be reviews of watches or maybe some talks about watch collecting on a budget. And different topics like that. Also, along those lines, kind of in between those, I'm trying to put out some videos that are, I call them just the watch videos. And that's also the new name of the channel, if you guys haven't noticed that either. But the just the watch videos are really, they're videos of just the watch. It's not me talking. And I try and show off the watch more there. And so to give you sort of a quick idea of what the watch looks like, what it would look like if you were wearing it, without someone spending a lot of time talking and rambling on, which probably most people haven't stuck around to the video to the end of this. So for those of you with short attention spans, make sure you're checking out the just the watch ones. That might be more up your alley. But if you're interested in hearing more about what I think about different watches and getting a more in-depth review, you can check out the episodes as they come out weekly. And again, make sure you subscribe so you can catch up with all that content that's going to be coming out. And we'll see. We'll see how long I can keep this up. As long as it keeps me interested and I get people enjoying it and interacting with it, I'll probably keep popping them out. But again, thank you so much for watching today, and yeah, we'll see you next time.